Hello, I'm McGuire Wilson, and this is my speech for intro to public speaking. My argument is that student athletes make a lot of money for colleges and the NCAA without getting any money in return. And some of my arguments, the first one is the profit from just ticket sales. The Advocate.com shows a post saying the LSU football Tigers made over $92 million, and most of that was just in ticket sales. And considering that there are 125 players maximum to a college football team, that would be $736,000 per player just in one season in tickets. And that does not that does not count for anything else in the stadium, just the price of the tickets. And although that the players shouldn't receive all the money for the ticket prices, and I realize that would be inconsiderate of everyone else that works there and of the school, I feel like they should receive some of that money. And the NCAA and the universities are taking millions of dollars off these athletes, considering that would be $736,000 for just those 125 players. What does the rest of the conference or the rest of the NCAA use? SECSports.com says that the Southeastern Conference makes $651 million in the 2018 season just in the sales of tickets from the 14 teams. So when you just take in the ticket prices, they make over $650 million in one season, just ticket prices. The Washington Post says that the week before the Final Four, Zion Williamson, who was the number one pick in the NBA draft last year from Duke, his jersey sold 3,294 times for $156,233.99. So this jersey, just before the Final Four, not throughout the season, just before the Final Four, sold for over 3,000 times for $150,000, and he's not allowed to receive any of that money. So all these people are going out to buy his jersey, specifically his jersey, and the only thing that doesn't have on it is his last name on the back of the jersey. It still has his number and everything on it, and yet he's not allowed to receive any of that money. And although Zion Williamson, I don't believe should receive all of this money for his jersey because he did not make the jersey, but yet he did kind of make the jersey. He made it popular for all the kids. So I do feel like he should receive some of that money, considering that the NCAA and the University of Duke is making thousands upon thousands of dollars just upon him and his name. I feel like these college students this money would help them pay for stuff that they don't have. So as in, like they're playing for the school for no money when yet they could have a job to help themselves buy books and food and stuff that they need for their college experience. And as a college student, it is hard sometimes to buy things because of a money crunch. Some of these student athletes do not come from families with a lot of money, so giving them money would be considered as their job. And even CNBC has Senator Bernie Sanders, who just ran for president, saying that these college athletes are workers. They're working for the school and making money for the school, but yet they don't receive anything for it. These students are playing sports for nothing when they can get a job and help themselves and their families. So many of these players, you see it every year on these stories of these players when they'll go back home and they've got these terrible home lives and it's really hard for them to go to school. But yet giving them a little bit of money would only help. It would help them stay in school and not try to leave and go to the draft and go to the NBA when they're not ready. It would help by so many things. By doing this, it would also keep more players in school to get their degree, to better themselves. It would give them a chance for a better life, but some cannot because they must quit to get a job or they must go to the league to help because they have to support their family. So the NCAA will not allow athletes to gain from this, even by not giving them money, but they are not allowed to sell to receive some money from their items. Newser.com tells of 5 Ohio State football players in 2011 who were suspended for selling their jerseys and their championship rings after the season. So these players went out, and one of them was the starting quarterback. They sold their championship rings and their game-worn jerseys that they received that is theirs. They're allowed to do whatever with it. But yet when they sold it, the NCAA come back and fined them from $1,000 to $2,500, and then suspended them for 5 games of the next season. So it just doesn't make sense. Yet that was theirs, and they're allowed to do what they want with it. But yet when they sell it to gain some revenue off of it, the NCAA then comes back and fines them and tells them that they aren't allowed to do that. BleacherReport.com tells of how the colleges could give $100 stipend per week to these athletes, and it would cost less than $800,000 per football team, which sounds like a lot of money, but yet that's not, considering that they almost make that much, or they make more in ticket sales per year, just ticket sales, and that's not counting jerseys, revenue, anything else. That is only on ticket sales. So when you think about it, $800,000 is a lot of money, but yet it's not, considering all the money that them teams are just dragging in. Many people say that college athletes should not get paid because they are not professionals, yet many teams make more than pro teams. These guys are known as professional athletes. They're just not old enough to be professional athletes. These teams are making big time monies and getting millions upon millions of people to watch them every single week. Many college athletes are also finding ways to gain money and skip college. LaMelo Ball, who is a basketball player in California, he's the little brother of Lonzo Ball, who is the number 2 overall pick and now plays the New Orleans Pelicans. He decided to go overseas and play in Australia for 1 year instead of going to college. R.J. Hampton, another player in the same class, decided to do the same thing. Ball had committed to play at UCLA like both of his older brothers did in the last few years, but yet decommitted to make money while he played. And he did not hurt his draft stock while going over there. Although he went overseas and was not seen by as many people, yet college or NBA scouts were still watching him and could understand and still watch his game, yet it did not hurt him. By playing lesser talent, he still made money, and yet he's still going to be a top 10 pick in this year's upcoming draft. So he did not hurt himself in the process, yet made money, and others saw that. Jalen Green, the number 1 basketball player in this upcoming out of high school, had 6 colleges on his final list, but yet decided to go play for the Gatorade League, which is the league below the NBA, for his 1 season. So he's going to make a small amount of money, but yet he has no college work to do, and yet can profit more because he can be in the gym more, working more, and around more college or around more NBA players. Many students are starting to become smarter in ways to where they can be paid for their abilities. But since the NBA players have to play for 1 year out of high school, before entering the NBA draft, these players are becoming very mindful of this and want to do in that 1 year for themselves. So these players are deciding to do things where they have less opportunity to get hurt. They're around more NBA scouts and coaches, and they can get themselves out there more. But yet they aren't in the college atmosphere where they could struggle in the classroom or could get in trouble easier without money or anything. So these players are starting to become smart in what they do with that 1 year and how they go about using that 1 year to where they can better themselves to get more money and get a higher draft stock. So in conclusion, these student athletes are making millions of dollars for the NCAA and the universities they play for without getting any compensation for having their own jersey sell for thousands, or without having thousands of people come to watch them every Saturday night under the lights. While many of these same kids struggle with not being able to buy money or to have money for food, books, or other items they need to be an actual college student. And this will hurt their self and their families, because they will then try to go on and do more for themselves and their families when they aren't ready to go, and it will end up hurting themselves. It would also hurt the college, because the college graduation rate will drop, because many students are having to quit for jobs, or they're leaving to go to the NBA or the NFL or the MLB when they aren't ready to do that. And it's time. I think it's time for the college and NCAA to make a difference, to better themselves and their students. Thank you.